Hope you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by to check out this week's edition of my video blog. I want to talk for just a few minutes about the tragedy that we've seen unfold in Arizona these past few days. My heart has been broken as I've seen such terrible tragedy occur, and I know yours has been as well. I'm particularly moved by the loss of life that is just so needless, so senseless. The poor little 9-year-old girl, just out to see a politician, interested in politics, just got elected to her student council, and her precious little life is ended at the hand of a mad gunman. That just doesn't make sense, and it breaks my heart. And there are a few things I'd like to share today regarding all of these issues, and I hope that God will use these thoughts to help you as you process through this as well. First, I'm reminded that evil exists in our world, and it is very real, and it is very present. There's no way to understand the acts of Jared Loughner other than evil. How is it that a man can perpetrate such a terrible act on people? Just at his core, he's evil. It was an evil act done by an evil man. One look at that mugshot, and you can see the evil that resides in him. We live in a world that is filled with evil, but the good news is one day Jesus is going to return, and all the evil in the world will be put in its place for eternity. And that's going to be a great day. The second thing that I've been thinking about that I think is important to remember in times like these is that we're going to have disagreements. We're going to have disagreements in all of the areas of our life, whether it be our family, whether it be in the public square, in the political arena, or even in the church. There are times when we're just going to have disagreements. But the way disagreements are worked out is with civil discourse. There is never any room in society for disagreements to be worked out with violence. It just has no place. A third thought that I have regarding this situation is that, often the hardest explanation to accept is the easiest explanation. We want to think there's more to it than just a deranged young man with a gun, a young man whose brain literally broke, carried out such an act of violence. It's easy, as some of the pundits have been guilty of doing, is pointing fingers and saying, well, it's because of this politician or this talk show host. Friend, this occurred because of an evil young man. It occurred because of a young man who was very ill, whose mind was literally broken. It was a terrible tragedy, and the easiest explanation, and the most likely explanation, is the fact that this young man, who was bent on evil, who had no agenda other than killing people, went to a busy place where many people were gathered, and he fulfilled his wishes. It's a terrible tragedy. I want to urge you, as you think about this, pray for those who have been so terribly affected by this. Pray for the survivors. I particularly think of Congresswoman Giffords as she's fighting for her life. She needs our prayer right now, and we need to pray that she'll have a full, speedy recovery from this terrible injury that she sustained. Also, pray for those who have lost their loved ones. How tragic is it to have to say goodbye to a loved one in such a senseless manner? Pray for those who have been adversely affected by this. Last thing I would encourage you to do today, remember that the gospel is the gospel of peace. And let's extend the gospel of peace, the good news of Jesus Christ, to those who so desperately need to hear it. God bless you and have a great day.